Real. So hello everybody, good morning. Okay, so I'm going to share something that I just got off the phone with our operations director for our company, and I was saying to her, people's success has so much to do with their attitude. Do you guys know that? Do you know that when you're in a good mood or you're in a bad mood and you shift and you're like, okay, could be worse, right? You're in it could be worse mentality, and you manage your mind. Somebody put manage your mind, right? So when you manage your mind, that's like probably one of the biggest phrases, if that's what it is, that I've said for years, because I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to this head right here. Like, manage your mind, Shanda, manage your mind. And I said to Teresa, I said, the success of people, and we're actually talking about the team in Heartcore, comes down to so much, and this is also entrepreneurship, how we feel. And here's the thing, we buy off emotions. And so if you're stuck, and today we're going to talk about how do you get faster closes, right? How do you get faster closes? Because the slow close means your time's getting sucked up. And when you're, and by the way, I would be willing to turn myself inside out to make myself available time-wise to help anybody if they're going to take the coaching. Right? What I absolutely refuse is to own somebody's responsibility of not getting a result. Right? And so hear me when I say this. When people get stuck, it's always connected to emotions, because you won't move. You won't move. What does moving look like? You have to make a decision. Right? And I started popping on this yesterday a little bit. Who was on yesterday? Put me. Who was on yesterday? Put me in the chat. Right? And so my question to you is, did you actually do the homework yesterday? Yes or no? Yes or no? Did you do the homework yesterday? Yes or no? If you don't know what I'm talking about, just don't put anything. But if you were on yesterday, did you do the homework? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. Okay, so some of you guys did, right? Awesome. That's super great that some of you guys did the homework. And so if you didn't watch yesterday's Shanda on Demand, I want to tell you something about me. I don't make up random shit to bring to the lives. I have curriculum. I have thoughtfulness behind it. You know what I mean? It's good to track with a lot of the lives that we do on Shanda on Demand, because you will see that your life will move because your emotions will get managed and you'll start to make decisions. If you're not making decisions, then you need a coach. Whether it's me or somebody else in another company, I don't care. What I do care about is if you have a decision problem, then you're stuck. And if you keep letting every day of your life keep going by, then my love, you are choosing suffering over success. You guys hear me? Yes? Right? So some of you guys know that you need to get with a coach. If I had a link right now to sign you up for something, I should drop it. Because some of you guys already know you're the one that is in between you creating what you want. It's not that there isn't a path to the success. Like Sarah Cannell in our company helps people write books. I help people reach more people. Sonia helps people speak and dominate the stages. My point is that there is no shortage of whatever it is that you want. There's no shortage of education to get there. But the challenge is we don't make decisions because out of our emotions. We say, and this will get into sales today, we say, it's because I don't have enough money to invest. We say, I don't have any time because I have a full-time job, or whatever that looks like. I have no time, I have no money. Or I don't have anyone to lean on, right? So I have no support, which really is trust. Okay, so the reason why this is really important is because if you're going to make a difference in the world, you need to know how to close somebody fast. And this is not about you getting, it's not about you manipulating, it's not about you competing against your buyers. It's actually about how you talk. And how you talk matters. And I'm not talking about a presentation. I'm talking about your heart. right? I'm talking about your heart. It's really important to understand, where do you get stuck? And go in the chat right now. Where do you get stuck? Do you get stuck when it comes down to investment time? You're like, I had a woman message me today and say, Shed, I haven't worked for a long time. And she said, I can't afford the ticket to Zone Event. And I'm like thinking to myself, you can't afford not to be there. Like if you're in that much of a challenging moment, you're not going to get me for 3 days in a room coaching your marketing, your mindset, and your money. Right? Like that's it. That's the only chance. Unless you're in any of our big programs, that is the only chance that you've got to be able to have me coach your money, your mindset, and your marketing. And if you know, and you show up to these lives and you know your life has been changed, whose life has been changed? Put life in the chat. Your life has been changed. Put the word life in the chat, because you've watched some of these Shanda on demands, or all of them, or some of them, or whatever, but your life has changed. So could you imagine what it is like when we get into a room? So when I hear, now I'm going to go back to you. When I hear somebody say, this was Zone Event I was talking about, but it could be your products, your programs, your services, whatever it is that you do, right? Follow me here. When someone says, I can't afford you, Dervet, right? Like I can't come to your retreat. I can't, but like your services would save their marriage, but they're allowing money to get in the way. The problem is not money. The problem is commitment. And it's hard to commit when you're emotional. And so, my friends, when you are working with people, you need to identify, what is the emotion? These are excuses. I never have the amount of money that I need to go to where I'm going, because I'm going somewhere bigger, right? You're going somewhere bigger. And if you're going somewhere bigger, it's a financial stretch. It's a time stretch, and everything becomes a time stretch when you don't know what you're doing, because you have to put more time into something you wouldn't normally do, to study how to speak on that stage, to study how to create an online course, to study how to hire a sales team, right? Like all the new stuff takes up time. So these are not excuses or reasons. Some people call them reasons, but they're excuses for not taking action. The reason why people are stuck is emotions. So I said to the woman this morning, I said, listen, I'm not attached to her coming to Zone Event or not. So that's another piece that some of you guys need to write down. You must be unattached if somebody buys from you. It says nothing about your identity. It says nothing about if you're good or bad. All it says is, for whatever reason, the communication between you and somebody else didn't click. And it didn't click because either they absolutely are not the right buyer for you. And if somebody says no to you, don't push. If someone says, I would love to work with you, but I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, or I don't trust myself because I haven't followed through in the past. Trust is also, I have to ask my spouse, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my business partner for permission. That's trust, right? Now, I want to make sure I'm clear on this. It doesn't mean they don't go talk to those people, right? But if I'm like, hey, I'm going to buy a boat, I'm going to go talk to my husband. But if I know I want to buy that boat, I've already got a vision for the boat, the family, the fun, all of that. I'm going to be like, yes, Pat, I'm going to buy the boat from you. So get it ready for me. I'm going to call you back at 6 p.m. tonight. I'm driving it. I'm going to go have a conversation with my husband and talk to him about why we need to buy this boat, but we're in, right? What if my husband's a no? If I'm a yes, I'm going to keep figuring out what emotion is getting in between him and saying yes. This will change everything for you guys, because what you guys are trying to manage is you're trying to manage stuck energy in something that you have no control over. And I never compete here with people, because that's what I see it as. I feel like if I have to try and tell you that, well, it takes money to make money, if I hear these slogans come out of my mouth, like I'm trying to convince. Is this helping you guys? Put yes if it is, right? I'm trying to convince people to let go of their attachment, their stuck energy, right? I'm trying to convince people to let go of their attachments to what has them feel stuck. But remember this, if they feel stuck, guess what they feel? Safe. And you will not pull somebody out of the need to feel safe by trying to convince them. Now, some people are very strong. There's some people who can convince people and just tell them what to do and they'll do it. Direct response marketers can do this, highly confident people, or if you have massive authority with someone, right? We've all had the moment with someone that we know that you're like, listen, you're going to do this. I'm going to take your hand right now. You're going to go to the computer and you're going to sign up. Or I'm going to take your hand right now and I'm going to fly with you to that retreat in Hawaii. Or you get what I'm saying? Like most people have had that experience where there's somebody in your life that you can move them out of their safety zone into their success metric because you have authority with them already. But that's not any way to build a business. Because the truth is that the level of connection, and connection is currency, that you would have to have with, hopefully for some of you guys, thousands of people, is just not humanly possible, right? It's just not humanly possible. Like if I give you 100 clients right now and you had to work with 100 clients and know them all personally enough that you could move them out of their safety zone into whatever they said they wanted, right? Safety zone is, I don't really trust myself. I don't trust other people. My spouse won't let me make a move. That's all trust issues. Your spouse doesn't let you make a move because you've broken trust. You haven't done what you said you were going to do. Like we have to repair the integrity of the relationship. That's why we hide behind other people versus enroll our partners, enroll our business partners, our spouses, the people we're dating. You know, we enroll people when we are convicted that we're making a good decision. We don't ask for permission, we enroll. Are you guys following me here? So when we're asking for permission to do something, it is a very passive way of building your life. And you're going to have customers or clients that are going to be stuck here. You're going to have customers or clients that it's very realistic that they don't have the money to invest with you. And you have to ask yourself, is the investment with you worth it? And I don't know if it is. That has been a journey for me. As I've gotten better and stronger and all that has been a journey for me. Make sense? Time. I mean, this is an intimacy challenge. Somebody gives you, I don't have the time to do something. If you try and compete against that, you've got to release pressure. That person's emotions are connected with a lot of pressure right now. And if the buy on you is more pressure and they can't see a way through that, then you don't have a sale, right? And honestly, when you have a sale, you have success, you have a partnership, you have service. Like this is a good thing. When I bought this pen to write on here, I see the value of being able to write on something. I'm happy to buy the pen. Right? When I bought my G-Wagon Mercedes, I bought it because I wanted my son to be safe in a car, that if somebody hit me, that it just wouldn't crunch. Right? And so we have value systems that move us from our safety zones into our commitments. So I want you moving forward, when you see somebody stuck and they give you one of these things, I would like you to not get too wrapped up in that. Be like an analyzer. My husband's an analyzer, and he just expects you all to say no. He expects everybody to be stuck, because analyzers live in a skeptical or even like a more cautious zone because they're analyzing things. The way their brain works, they're analyzing things. So analyzers, I'm going to tell you, you're some of the best salespeople I have ever seen in my entire life. You might take a minute to be able to figure out your sales conversation, your sales cycle, which I'll talk to you guys about a sales conversation tomorrow on Shand On Demand. But my point is that when an analyzer gets it, they've already walked through the identity crisis that the rest of us have when somebody doesn't buy from us. You follow me here? The analyzer doesn't think that, like, there's no identity crisis there. because they expect everybody to be stuck in some variation. And they also trust that they'll figure out how to get through it. That's how an analyzer's mind works. Promoters, people are like, woo, with a party. Like promoters that walk into a room, like you can hear me sometimes go, good morning, right? That's very promoting. Controller, when you see me do this, right? Like I'm in my controller mode. I'm driving to a destination. You get what I'm saying? So promoters, controllers, even supporters, we don't like it when people say no to us because we have to recalibrate our emotions to get back into partnership with the person because it feels like a personal either attack or personal, I don't like you, or however we interpret it, right? Each of us are a little different based on our leadership skills. And so you have to know that you have to manage your emotions to stay connected to your buyer, not take anything personal, but then you have to look at what is the emotion that is causing this challenge. So here's my homework for you today, because I can talk to you for 6 hours on this topic. My conversation for you today is to go, you can do it one of two things. You can do it in your business or you can do it in your personal life. They're both, you break free on either side and you'll have a new level of familiarity about how this thing works. Okay. So people move because they're emotionally ready to move. That is not a timing thing. You create the timing based on your words. And if your words are empathetic and hear people, see people, they will move. Okay. So instead of listening to this and getting discouraged, like, oh my gosh, somebody has another money issue, or, oh my gosh, like I always get these people that, don't have enough time because all my clients all have full-time jobs. And, instead of getting wrapped up in that, I want you to start playing with your leadership on how you talk to people, and I want you to find the emotion. So, I don't have enough money. Let me ask you a question. Like, when you think about living your life without money anymore, what feeling comes up? That's going to tell me they're a trigger. Right? And so now my job is to actually have a human conversation about that emotion and remake the offer. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? So you got to play with this because it's not something that's just going to drop in your head. You're going to be like, oh, I got it. You have to have an experience with this. So if somebody, let's say, either I trigger someone or they trigger me, a great thing to do is to go and have this conversation and figure out where the emotion is, right? But you got to ground yourself in saying, I'm not going to win this conversation. I'm going to walk through this conversation where we're besties. Like I'm not judging them and I'm going to work on them not judging me, right? And I'm going to stay out of the personal emotion of attack, trigger, whatever. And I'm committed to staying grounded in caring about this person enough so that I can walk through their trigger with them. Does that make sense? If this is in business, do you have somebody that you've made an offer to that has not said yes yet? Great thing to do. Reach out to them. Now, you have to have a reason. You have to have a reason. Is that how you spell reason? Yes. I'm so horrible at spelling. So that's how you have to have a reason to reach out to someone. So don't reach out to them to close them. You already know you want to close them. It doesn't have to be the point of the beginning of the conversation. So I'm not reaching out to you and saying, Sophia, hi, Sophia, I was thinking about you today. Have you thought about my product, program, or service? That's not what I'm doing, right? I know that it's the feelings, and whatever she's feeling today can absolutely change if we're going to close. So what's powerful, and the way I look at it, and I hope this is helpful, is I just feel like I'm just walking around helping people process. And so if I can help you effectively process and not get hooked on any of the things that people tell me that they feel stuck in. Just because they feel stuck doesn't mean they are. Just because they feel stuck doesn't mean that they are. You hear what I'm saying? They need a friend and they need somebody to process with. Now, I don't spend hour-long calls with people. I don't do that. Okay, at all. The better I've gotten at asking good questions, the faster my closes have gotten. Okay, so you're never going to have me ask you for your whole life story. You're never, because most of it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you got married, moved to Canada, then moved to Portugal, and that's what people do, right? And it just sucks up time. And so what I need to know is certain things like, if I know you had a money issue, I'm like, are you generating income? Hey, I thought about you today, Sophia. I know when we talked a couple weeks ago or a month ago, you were worried about creating income for your business. Are you generating income now? No. Okay, so if I don't help this woman process, she's not going anywhere fast. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually see it. I know service gets thrown around when sales is being taught a lot, and it is service, but I feel like everybody's already heard that a million times. If it hasn't worked to unhook you yet, it probably isn't going to work, right? And so you got to shift and go like it breaks my heart to see people waste money or not be able to make it. It actually breaks my heart. So I actually think that I am a non-negotiable buy for someone. Now, let me take that in weight loss. I know what it was like to live my life not loving my body. I know. I spent more money on my body and trying to get my body to be proud of my body. And I know you should be proud of it, but that's not my standard. My standard, like I'm doing a 28-day eating thing with my mom, right? And it's like we're eating medical medium for 28 days. I've got 2 events, an event that I'm attending with my church, and another event that I'm leading for the network marketing company that I'm working with now, right? Like it's like there's just inconveniences to doing this, right? But I'm committed. No matter what the resistance is, I'm committed. And because I want to feel good. And mostly this round, I'm actually doing it for my mom, right? It's a pain in my tushy, but I'm doing it for my mom because I don't want her to have to do something alone. See my value system? You have to find somebody's value system and where the emotion is actually compromising their value system. That's why you must know, and I'm going to go over this tomorrow, you must know what somebody wants and what success looks like. And so I don't sell anything. I'm going to go over this part tomorrow. I don't sell anything without getting clear on that. So the emotions come up right away because the excuses come up right away. Hey, Shanda, I really want to come to your zone event, but my mom's birthday, she's 83 years old. I'm like, I would be willing to bet that if your mom knew that you could create 100,000, a million, I can give you an income claim, but everybody's different. If you knew you could generate $100,000 in 3 days, right? Would you attend the event or would you go to your mom's birthday? And by the way, obviously you don't miss mom's birthday every year. Do you know what I mean? But there's not going to be another zone event for another year. You know what I mean? And it will set up I think it'll set up 2 years of somebody's life based on how we're teaching people how to lean into what is the one offer that if you gave it and you just knew if I just make that one offer over and over and over and over and over again, there's my controller, over and over and over and over and over again, that you could rest into the fact that you would have reliable income, right? Like the data. If 5 people go through this, one buy this $10,000 product, right? So then focus on getting 10, focus on getting 20, but that's one focus. So that's what we're teaching at Zone Event. So when I talk to someone like that, now I want you to think for your world. This is why you have to know your value. Not your value personally, but the value that you're providing in your offers. Some of you guys need to go deeper in your offers to actually spend some intimate time with them about what is the value. That the word value is what I want you to take right now. What is the value that it provides in somebody's life, not just the result. You guys get caught. I've been coaching this for so long. You guys get caught in what's the result you're providing for somebody, which is great. But what value is that result? Because that's the quick sale. I don't get caught in buy this shirt, buy this phone, come to my Zone Event. It's what's happening at Zone Event that changes your life. Do you know what I mean? And I don't just stop on it changes your life. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, I know exactly how it's going to change your life. If you didn't have to make a decision on what you were selling for 1.5 to 2 years, it will free up your time to be able to literally focus on just generating leads. And it'll work. I know it'll work because I've been teaching funnels forever, right? It'll work. People change their mind too many times in a year and their emotions go up and down, up and down. If I can manage your emotions, I can manage your results. Just if you can manage your buyer's emotions, you can manage their yes. So I'm going to close up on that today. I'm going to encourage you to become a detective today on feelings. And I'm going to encourage you, if you're working with somebody who's triggered in your personal life, ask them, what is the emotion coming up right now? Not because you're trying to beat them in the conversation, but because you care enough to understand what's coming up for them. When your empathy grows at that level, it won't even be about the sale. The sale will be so easy because it's really about the person being able to make a good decision. So if you've ever bought from me, you will hear me say things like, what do you need to know in order to make a good decision? What do you need to know in order to say yes to my coaching program? What do you need to know in order to come to Zone Event? What do you need to know? Why do I say those things? Because people are not grounded in their value systems. They're grounded in their excuses. Time, money, support. And because I know that we as a society walk around there, I don't try and compete there. I just want to know what's the emotion that's getting in the way of you saying yes to hiring a relationship coach, hiring a chef for yourself, hiring whatever, right? I had an emotional charge on hiring a chef at one point because it was like $4,000 a month to have a chef cook. And I didn't value myself. Even though I was already making millions of dollars, I did not value myself enough to spend that cash. I've seen Billie Jean do a video on this as well. It does become a thing that you need people to cook for you as your companies grow, because otherwise you get fat, out of shape, lethargic, sick. And if at some point you realize that I can't do my job if I feel like that. And so I need to get help in this area, because if you just don't eat all day because you're working, you can't keep living like that. You'll burn out your sugar. You'll burn out, you know what I mean? Your organs will have some problems coming up. Like I have a friend who's one of the fittest people I know, cover of magazines all over the place, and burnt out her sugar levels, with the way that she ate all these years. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, we cannot go down with the ship. Do you see how I could sell health all day long? Because I believe in it. I have a value system around it. And so anybody who comes around me that their health is deteriorating, I am really bullish about moving them to David for oxygen, or, Doug for, the laser on your stem cell, right? Like I'm very bullish about keeping the entrepreneurs and the people around me and your families healthy, but I don't sell that. But I'm a great closer for it. I'm a great closer for your money. I'm a great closer for your parenting. I'm a great closer for your family. I'm a great closer for God. I'm a great closer for your health. Why? Because that's my value system. And so my first question to you is, are you having conversations about people's emotions, or are you having conversations about what's getting in the way? Because if you're having conversations about what's getting in the way, that's a hard, long process. because the realistic point of view is I only have X amount of dollars in the bank. The realistic scenario is my husband won't support me. The realistic, you get what I'm saying, is my wife is critical. The realistic scenario in my life is that I work 10 hours a day and I don't have the time. Where are you going to go? That's like a needle in a haystack. You cannot help somebody create, they're talking to you. They are or will be talking to you because whatever it is that you do, that's what they want. And if you can't get them out of where they're stuck and into the emotion that's causing them to be stuck, which then is connected to a thought. If you can help counsel them through that, that's processing. You have a yes. And you will have a yes more times than you'll have a no. And people will feel incredibly good about buying from you. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, my friends, yes? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so please go into having a conversation today for the intention of maybe you have to make some time to pick up the phone and call somebody, whether it's somebody who hasn't said yes to you yet, whether it's a customer or client that you want to cross-sell them something else because it's right for them to buy something else from you, right? Like I'm a big advocate of people buy my leadership program because I see people's success metrics. When they do leadership, they make more money in their business. So why would I not cross-sell that? Do you see what I'm saying? So what is it that either you need to cross-sell, remake an offer, or go into, if you don't have anybody to talk to business-wise, go into a triggered conversation with someone and figure out how to walk through it and not have a train wreck happen. Okay, like that would be what success would look like. I actually was able to identify the emotion and say to them, I'm sorry that I make you feel that way. That's a close. That's a close. I'm sorry that I make you feel that way. That was not my intention. How do we get this relationship back on track? What do you need from me to feel safe? What do you need from me to be a good wife, a good husband, a good friend, a good daughter, you get what I'm saying? Take it to a close. I'm telling you, I went 13 years without having a fight with my mom because I learned how to close her. Right? And I'm telling you, when you get good at closing, you're going to make a big difference in the world. And I did not come to Shanda On Demand today or any of the other days for you to just be average, because average is going away. It's time to move to the right side of the tracks. All right, my friends, I hope that this was helpful. If you are not currently coaching with us and that you would like to actually speak to somebody in our coaching department, comment the word coach below. If you're not currently coaching with us and you would like to have a conversation with us about what we do inside of Heartcore, how we help our clients close more, how we help our clients reach more people, if that's of interest to you, comment the word coach in the chat and somebody, probably Denise or someone like that, will reach out to you and set you up with a coaching session to see how you can move out of your own way to create the results that you want. My friends, we are 3 months away from the legacy of 2023. 2023, whatever it is that we did to this point, is our legacy. It is inked into the days of our life. And I'll tell you one thing. I want to get better over the last 3 months, not worse. Do you guys get what I'm saying? And so remember, get intentional. I'm going like this because I'm seeing writing. You're writing the script of your life right now, and everything that's in the past we cannot change, but we certainly can change what's happening in the future. So if you do need coaching, put the word coach. And other than that, I'm going to move to the on-demand mastermind on Zoom right now. Say goodbye to social media. So much love to you guys. Bye.